And then I'm going to take just a tiny, tiny dab of water, because these are acrylic paints, so they're water-based, and just soften it a little bit. But if I were to take any credit from learning art, I would definitely have to give it to her, because she taught me everything. There we go. And you see that white kind of poking out. And that's... She used oil paints most of her life in her art, and she used to tell me that they were more forgiving. How funny that comes to mind in this moment while I'm talking about forgiveness and moving forward in life. So I'm going to take a little black. This one's open. And I'm going to touch this up over here. And a little bit of this color here, because this one is yellow ochre and the other one is actually lamp black. So I'm going to take a little, I've been wanting to add just a little bit of this here to kind of not quite make it quite so black. Make it more natural looking. Oh, there we go. That blended in nicely. Gives it a little dimension so it doesn't look quite so one-dimensional, flat. Because this is, after all, a mountain. And I thank you guys for sticking through. I know nobody likes to hear a girl cry. So I know it's a little raw, but that's kind of the intention, the goal. I don't want to be fake. I mean, this is all very real and happening to me. And if my experience can teach anyone anything, even if I cry or sound weak or whatever, then so be it. It is what it is. Because, you know, right now I'm battling, and I'm not going to be happy all the time. That's just not realistic. Right? I don't want to mess with it too much. I take the advice of my husband, you know, kind of add just a little bit more of this yellow ochre. I kind of like the color that it gets me with the black. Kind of looks super bright when you first put it on, but it plays out kind of nicely. And then the other thing I wanted to add were the sheep on here, because, you know, Jesus was a shepherd. He was also a craftsman. His dad was a carpenter. It's kind of humbling when you think of Jesus as kind of like a person. You know, yes, he was a spirit, but for a long time, while he was on earth, he was a human too, and he did earthly things just like we're doing. And you think of him as kind of like a friend that made an ultimate sacrifice. Kind of changes your perspective a little bit, instead of like, you know, like this judgmental foe or whatever. I don't know, for a while, that's kind of the way I looked at it. One thing I didn't do before was kind of take the whole seeing down to canvas level, or like around the edges. So I'm going to do that this time, just to make sure it's nice and finished. I'm going to take some of this white here and do kind of like some rough water here. I need more white than that. So as I was doing this one, I wanted to add these white ripples in here, but every time I added some white to it, it started to muddle like this, because when it's wet, it doesn't really play nice. It turns more gray. All right, so I repaired that one. And while I have gray on the brush, I'm gonna do this little one. There we go. It's like it never happened. It's crazy. And then I think I'm going to do just a little touch of green here and there on the mountain, just to make it look a little less. It looks very angry. Just want to lighten it up a little bit. Our lives are not full of darkness, right? There we have some specks of happiness and I'm gonna feather that one out too. I can't wait till we get some of that woodworking stuff going on, so that way I can get some of the frames done for these. And you can see my goofball husband a little bit, and the girls helping him out too, because that's his passion, is to work with the girls. But he's working some overtime this week and try to offset the loss of my income. So it's going to be a little bit before we get the frames done. Yeah, that's okay. After all, I'm not striving for perfection or anything. Just these things kind of manifest it all on their own. Ah, very good. All right, so you have to tell me what you see in this. Do you see those shadowy figures on the bridge walking along? Do you see the path kind of down the mountain? And then I'm gonna add in, I think I got all my touch-up done. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of white over on this other side of the bank here. Kind of representing like that crashing wave there. My brush is too wet. I don't know, I think my grandma might be a little proud if she saw it. I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm going to do some sheep now. Let's see if I can. I don't know how to do sheep, so don't judge. Let me use a different brush. I'm going to see if maybe if I just do like this one, and I just go like, yeah, I'm afraid because I don't know what I'm doing. Start with that, and let's see if we can make these into sheep. Now we're learning together because I don't know what I'm doing. I met another artist. He doesn't do like this kind of art. He just does whatever he wants, really. He's an independent artist, and he was so kind to my daughters, and he said, anyone can be an artist. That made me think of Remy and how anyone can cook. He's right. Anyone can be an artist, and it doesn't necessarily have to be good art. It's just, you know, your imagination getting out there and for the world to see. And not anyone can be a professional artist. Now that's different. That's like when you're so good people want to buy your work, then you're, then you know you've made it, right? All right, I'm gonna do maybe a couple more, and then I'm gonna do the finishing touches because it's gonna require a little bit of black on there for it to really come to life. I might speed up the video just a little bit. I don't know, I think it might look like a sheep actually. Not too bad. Oh, that's better. That one might be a baby sheep. We'll see. A little lamb. This one I was going to do 2 sheep last time. They're kind of right next to each other. There we go. Maybe that one's laying down. I don't know. You kind of get the gist, right? That's the thing. When you're not trying to be in control, yeah, God will just make it look however he wants to make it look. That's it. All right. I'm gonna hope that that conveys. I'm gonna add just a little bit of white to a couple of these that I messed up a little bit. And then I'm gonna call this done. Let's see. This one here needs a little bit more white. There we go. This one here. don't want to look too much like a camel. All right, what do you think? You guys have to tell me if did I do okay? Did I look like sheep? And then you might have noticed in the beginning I had a blank canvas kind of set up and ready to go. So I am waiting for some feedback. If anybody wants to be the first to put in the comments section a verse that you'd like to see a visual representation of, just so I can keep this moving. I'm prepped and ready to go for that, and looking forward to your suggestions. And while I'm finishing this up, I just wanted to thank you once again for joining me and being a part of my journey. It's I miss having people to talk with and be around, and you know, serving always facilitated that, but now just kind of being homebound more, and you know, physically just like unable to do much. This little outlet here has been awesome. So I really thank you for watching and maybe sharing in this with me a little bit. And I look forward to, you know, continuing this page. I really hope that it might bring some people maybe a little bit of like feeling of closeness and belonging, because you know, it's hard. Life is hard, and you know, we keep going along the way saying, psh, life isn't hard, and pretending like everything's gravy. That's not healthy either. So pretty soon my kids are going to be up for the day. I got up before the sun got up this morning. It just, pain wasn't going to go away, so I figured, let's just get this day started.